as ever, is a disaster. It truly is. Meghan Markle simply cannot seem to run a business to save her life because we have like several issues coming into play this week. The first is that Meghan's wine launched, her rosé wine sold out again suspiciously in 45 minutes. And yet at the same time, for this launch, for a wine nobody has tasted, you had to buy 3 bottles. In addition to that, we also have apparently some people aren't going to get the apricot spread that they paid for, only a refund, because apparently, again, Meghan Markle cannot stock enough. This is a growing problem. And this is something Meghan Markle has to solve. And that she's still, I think, going on this scarcity tactic is going to absolutely tank her brand. She is just going to tick people off. And she's already doing it to her fans. Some of even her most uber fans aren't getting what they paid for. And you cannot sustain this forever. Yes, she may be a duchess or whatever, but at some point, even the people who love you the most are just going to go, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this brand. So we are going to discuss this today and hopefully learn something. If you are starting your own company, please look to Meghan Markle and do the exact opposite. And I'm going to hopefully maybe share with you guys a little bit of insight. But if you haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I do provide compelling royal commentary. So please hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. And we have a little section here called the Crown Report. But before I get there, I just did want to point out, guys, that this is the Bowden shirt that Catherine wore in Scotland. I believe it was in April. And it's currently on sale. There are only a few sizes left. And they have a green version. So if you're interested in checking that out, I will link it down below in the description box. So if you are interested in getting it or anything like that, I will link it there for you because I think I'm going to buy the green one because I do really like this. It is linen, so it does tend to wrinkle, but I just thought it was a really cool piece, especially just to wear around the house in my sweats. I can put the button up shirt on and still look a little bit classy in my leggings rather than just the slop. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, again, a link will be down below. And when it comes to what the other royals are doing, there's a lot going on, and I am starting to try to do a little bit more of the short royal clips on like TikTok and then sharing them on the Crown Report and everything. So if you guys are interested, that is linked down below as well. But when it comes to the royals, Prince William is continuing his mother's legacy with his Homewards project, looking to end homelessness within the United Kingdom and the perception of what homelessness is and means. So he is celebrating the 2nd year anniversary of that organization. And it's fitting as today is his mother's birthday. So Diana would have turned, I believe it is 64 this year. So unfortunately, Diana has passed away, and it must be strange for William in some ways to obviously live past his mother's age and experience so much more. And I'm sure, given what all that's happened with Harry, he would love to have his mother around. We also have a very special meeting between the Danish and Swedish royals as they celebrate a bridge that connects Sweden and Denmark that was built and opened 25 years ago. So their majesties came to sort of meet, and then they had lunch at Amalienborg Palace. You'll have to excuse me for not pronouncing the bridge name because I'm not exactly sure how to do this so correctly. So we will leave that up to your imagination. But we do also have King Charles is up in Scotland for Royal Week, basically. And so they had a garden party up there at Holyrood House Palace. So that's always exciting to see. We also have the Dutch Royal Summer Photo Call, which some good and I would say questionable fashion choices. So if you guys want to check that out, I will be doing my best and worst of June here within the next couple of days, looking over all the royal fashion. I was like collating all the fashion looks for those who are interested. And we also have, sadly, the Royal Train of the UK has been officially retired. And so it'll go out of service in 2027. So I'm hoping that the royals use these couple of years to kind of showcase the train a little bit. And it might turn into a museum piece, or maybe you can actually book and spend time on the train. It does like maybe dinners or those sorts of things. And so it is sad, but Charles is looking to streamline the best he can and to avoid looking frivolous, which I think is a great route to go down. And it's also been reported that Catherine and William will be officially able to award royal warrants. So this is the first time since Queen Mary back in the early 1900s when she was the Princess of Wales. She is the grandmother to Queen Elizabeth and Prince William's great grandmother. And so very exciting for Catherine and William. And I can't wait to see what they choose. Apparently, like the applications are open for the rest of this month. So until I think July 30th or 31st, you can submit an application and we will see which ones Catherine and William choose. And we also have some interesting news out of Belgium, as apparently Prince Emmanuel is moonlighting as a DJ. So I want to explore more of that. So we will get back into that at a later point. But let's go ahead and get into this as ever disaster. Like I don't understand how somebody can be such an epic train wreck almost all the time. Like you almost have to work to be this bad. You almost really have to be working really hard to be this much of a mess because Meghan only has a handful of products. She only has a handful of SKUs, as she likes to constantly tell us. And yet they can't manage things well. And when it came to the honey last time, I was kind of like, well, there were so few options for it. So it kind of made sense that they did have an overselling issue. But with the apricot spread, this shouldn't be happening. And what I see and what I really want to point out here, and I've said this before, but it's worth repeating, that this would not be a problem if Meghan Markle would stop trying to make her business look more successful than it is by ordering a small crop of products and stock herself correctly. This is a stocking issue, one that can be easily remedied with somebody who actually cares to support and run a business. You cannot run and have a successful business if you have nothing in stock all the time. That's not how this works. You can pull this stunt from time to time and have it, be like kind of sort of okay. But multiple times, this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. And it makes her look incompetent and it risks alienating her fans. So here is what we got from the Daily Mail, who got obviously some insight about this. And I actually seen, and I didn't crop it, and I don't want to platform this person anyways, not the person who posted it, but the person they were referencing in the post. And this person has been an avid Sussex stan. I've had harassment issues from them and those sorts of things. And apparently they ordered at least 2 apricot spreads and might not get them. So yeah, that looks pretty bad that you have Uber fans who are, you could say, clamoring for your products, but at the same time, they're not getting them. And there's not that much overhead with the products that she's selling. And so she can't risk to have these stupid blunders going on all the time. This is so not working. And it's sort of interesting that Meghan didn't do any sort of victory lap for the rosé wine selling out in 45 minutes. And it's like, are you kind of starting to freak out a little bit because things aren't going so well? You're dealing with heat. Yeah, I can imagine so. So let's look at this email that apparently fans got. So we're on the Daily Mail page here. Of course, there's a million bazillion ads. It says fans fury as Meghan Markle's new apricot spread oversells with disappointed customers who paid for orders left empty-handed and offered refunds instead. Because remember, these are like limited seasonal launches, and Meghan Markle does not want to risk looking like a failure. And so I think for the foreseeable future, the sustainability of this brand is I'm not going to actually technically keep things together. I'm not going to do it. I'm just continue to restock at limited supplies. I could do more, but I'm just going to, do the scarcity tactic all the time. And there's a point where that doesn't work and we're already starting to see things rub together the wrong way. Like you can see the friction building because you can't do this forever. And I know she says, "Oh, we worked so hard to make sure we stocked." It's like, I don't believe you. And we see this here because obviously you didn't. And either you're not taking the information, you're not doing the appropriate research, you're not doing something, because this is something that should not be happening. And I understand a makeup thing selling out and stuff like that, but this is really hard to sustain. And so obviously there was $9 for a jar, $14 for the keepsake packaging, which is still laughably bad. And when it comes to the apricot spread, I remember seeing it by itself that was still for sale for quite a while. The keepsake packaging sold out first, but then later the just regular spread was able to sell out. And so it says, due to high demand, we are unable to fulfill your order of the apricot spread at this time. You're refunding the purchase of this item by the end of the week, the email said. In addition to the refund, we want you to know that when the apricot spread is back in stock, you will be the first to receive it free of charge. Now, the curious thing is, did the honey people get their honey? And I thought this was supposed to be seasonal. So why are you restocking apricot spread? You didn't even restock the raspberry spread. None of this makes sense. Like, seriously. Oh, this poor deluded person. I'm sorry, but it's just like this stuff is mediocre slop. Just received an email from As Ever. They are unable to fulfill my apricot order, but will give me a full refund and a free replacement when it becomes available again. I only have half a jar of raspberry spread left. It's war tomorrow. Another complaint. I hope they fix this. At minimum, comms should be out literally on the day instead of waiting for your order for a while and being disappointed. Not a good customer experience, even though the customer service is good after the fact. Well, it doesn't matter. Either way, the customer service is failing. So here is the actual email. And thank you for understanding. It says, well, like, what else are you supposed to do? Because your boss wants to play games instead of running a business. She's more interested in the look of success than having success. Having success means that everything's in stock all the time, no matter what, because that way you actually make some money. Because people, when they're out of the raspberry spread, can reorder it. Meghan Markle. Apparently, that escapes your brain. Because what happens when they run out? Well, they're twiddling their thumbs, thinking to themselves, I really, really want my shortbread cookie mix, but Megan's not out of it. So who can I get it from? Who can I get it from? Now you have to pay more, but you can get it from Williams and Sonoma. Yes, who apparently are the ones who actually made Megan's shortbread cookie mix. I am hopefully at some point going to test that theory. But I do have the cookie mix here. I do. And as a reminder, the cookie mix is one and done. And the crepe mix, I think, only makes 2 batches. So it was kind of funny. And I'm really bummed that I didn't capture this on stories when Megan shared it on her As Ever, because she's like sharing other people's posts from As Ever. And it's kind of funny because some of them, they're linking something else. So they're like self-promoting while also tagging Megan. So it's like, are they really telling you how wonderful you are because of the product, or because you're going to reshare it and they can use it to promote themselves? Great question. Anyways, but when it comes to the crepe mix, somebody goes, "Oh, our new Sunday morning tradition, crepes." Well, that's great. But you only get 2 rounds. What are you going to do after that? Because there's nothing else. You're done. You're done. What else are you going to do? And this is just embarrassingly horrible as a business to do. Because what you want to do is you want to grow your customer base. You want your customers to get attached to what you're offering, excited about the possibilities, not, and again, I repeat, not going, I can't get my products. And this has happened to me twice. Imagine you had ordered the honey, didn't get it. Now you've ordered the apricot spread, didn't get that. What about this wine? What if not everybody gets some wine? Well, then again, you look incompetent. This scarcity tactic can only work once or twice, and it works if it's real. It doesn't work if it's artificial. And I have no doubt that Megan ponied up the cash. She could have all this stuff in stock all the time. I still don't even know how this company is actually distributing its products. Are we going to have a, let's say, permanent grouping of products? I don't know. It seems like maybe, but I don't know. Are we going to have seasonal launches? I don't know. We just have one time where the spread changed and that's it. That's like the only real thing that changed. So I don't know. Are we going to have more wines, or is it just going to be rosé and you're forced to buy 3 bottles and spend $100+ I don't know. None of this business makes sense. Nothing connects. Nothing works. And it's literally being artificially floated by Meghan. The Duchess title is the only thing that's floating this brand at this point. The scarcity tactic is kind of making it look like it's successful, but really, it's not. It's failing pretty radically. And it's going to come to a point where people are going to be less willing to indulge the madness than they are now. They're indulging the madness to a certain extent because they're still fans. You will turn those fans into haters at some point if Meghan continues down this path. This is inexcusable. Like, I'm passionate, like I'm almost angry because from a business perspective, this makes so little sense and it's aggravating. You can do the scarcity tactic thing when you're a luxury brand. Like Louis Vuitton can make a small number of a certain type of bag. Like the Murakami launch recently, the multicolored logos and stuff from the early like 2000s, they did a relaunch of that, a redesign of that. All that stuff basically sold out because it had influence and stuff. So everybody pre-ordered. And so it was hard to find anything in store. And that makes sense because it's leather goods. It actually works on limited quantities because it's luxury. This is not luxury. If Williams and Sonoma can have their shortbread cookie mix in stock all the time, there's no excuse for Meghan. But she wants, again, to artificially inflate success rather than actually being successful. It's more important for her to fake it than it is to make it really happen. And that's why she'll fail because she's not taking it seriously. She's treating it as a side project. And she wants to tell everybody, oh, I sold out in so many times. Oh, I sold out in so many times. That can work a little bit, but at some point, smart people are going to start asking, why haven't you managed to be able to get all the products in correctly? I can fix that for you. And Megan's, oh, no, we're fine, we're fine. And I'm sure people who are going, I can fix this for you. And she's backing off, realize she doesn't want to fix it. She wants this to go on forever, like a weird merry-go-round where you're just going to annoy people because they can't get the products. They want the craves. You don't have them. So guess what? They're going to go to your competitor and they're going to stop relying on you. They're going to stop relying on you. And that's just going to be how it rolls. Now, she will still, again, have her uber fanatics. But beyond that, things will begin to calm down at some point because the rest of Joe average public, the only people right now that are excited about her brand are her Uber fans. She's not allowing the mildly curious to get her products. And those mildly curious can turn into a larger and larger group of people who can sustain her for the long term. And she's not giving them products. And so guess what, Meghan Markle? Even if they're somewhat curious, even if they wouldn't mind trying it, they're not going to want to fight with others in order to get it. They just want to go, I want the raspberry spread. I want to try it today. If I can't order it, if I can never seem to order it, then they will never order it. Like, I just, I don't know why, but this just, I find this so unbelievably grating. It's insane. It's grating on my conscience. It's grating on my soul. It's like annoying. So annoying. You want the products to be in stock as much as possible. And like when it came to me and when I launched my initial line of Royal News Network shirts, this is Recollections May Vary, I had to order a small amount because I was financing it myself and I was also shipping it myself. And that can be a very time consuming thing to do. And so that's why Fourth Wall, who I'm working with for my products now, is great because they can hold more stock. They print on demand and I don't have to worry about it. And I only would print my shirts every once in a while just because of capacity issues. Meghan doesn't have those problems. So that she's continuing to do this reflects what she actually cares about, which is, again, faking success rather than actually achieving success. So let's get to, the wine launch today. As ever, Napa Valley Rosé. It still looks really light to me. I'm super curious, but sold out. But here's the thing, and obviously you can't see it. I did share a screenshot, so let me get that real quick. So when I went to the website, this is what I found. So Napa Valley Rosé, 3 bottles for $90. And I was like, 3 bottles? What? And then I clicked on this down thing, which you can't see, and it moved from just 3 to 6 or 12. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Who's going to order 12 bottles of wine that they don't know what it tastes like? Why would you order like, it's like ordering a 12-pack of soda. I mean, that's kind of a terrible example because soda's cheap that you don't know the flavor of, and he's like, you're sipping, you're like, "Ugh, what are you gonna do with it?" This is $90 for 3 bottles of a wine you've never in your life tasted. So, how in the world do you know it's good? How in the world do you know you love it? And I will admit, guys, I was a little frustrated and annoyed because I went there and my whole I've shared with you guys before. I've tested her other products and I wanted to get the wine as well. So unfortunately, I had to buck up the 120 odd something dollars, including shipping and tax, to 120 to get this 3 bottles of wine. And I don't even drink wine. I'm annoyed. And the thing is, again, ladies and gentlemen, I come at this perspective and I will notice that I see more and more things with people where it's just a lot of hate towards Harry and Meghan. And I get where that comes from, but I tend to try to ground my stuff more in logic and less sort of reactionary in some ways. So the reason I'm mad at this business thing is not just because I don't like Meghan. It's just because, like, from a logic perspective, there's nothing that annoys me more, guys, than things that aren't logical. I like logic. It makes sense to me. When things aren't logical, it drives me bonkers. That drives me and that annoys me almost more than anything else on the planet. It's like, why are you doing it illogically? Do it logically. Like, it's just my thing. And so I'm like, why aren't you doing this correctly? Like, you could do this correctly and you're not. And like, it makes my brain explode. But again, Megan, this is what she set up. She set it up basically to annoy people. And if I get these 3 bottles, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other 2, to be honest. I wanna do a taste test. I have, like, this wine glass that's been sitting up here for a little bit. And again, guys, I don't even like wine, so you could enjoy my faces as I taste it because it's just not my thing. And she should want to turn her critics into her fans. And she can do that through this brand. That's the thing that Megan's missed out on that is so incredibly critical here is that I would suggest her, and again, it's because she drives me crazy in terms of the logic issues, but I just genuinely don't have that many passionate feelings towards her individually. She could turn somebody like me into a fan by creating decent products. That creating decent products, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not a fan of hers, but secretly, guys, I love this. And I would tell you if that was true. But the thing I see endlessly with Megan is mediocre products and no desire to actually reach out to the people who are her biggest critics. Because how like crazy would it be is if Meghan Markle created something that was so cool, unique, and interesting that we all wanted it. Like, that would be crazy. That would be a huge success, and bravo to her because then she could prove that she had something to offer and convert her critics. The thing is, she's doubling down on the criticism that already exists, that she's a basic influencer person. Like, and I mean low on the totem pole influencer in terms of creativity. There's a lot of creative and interesting and fascinating influencers out there. She is not one of them. And she could cultivate this amazing thing, but she just does the bare bones basics. She's not creative in the slightest. And she proves it every time she attempts to launch products. I see them and I'm like, eh, is that all you got? Is that all you have? And it just proves and double downs yet again that Megan, basically all she's doing is following Netflix's like lead here. Netflix is the one driving the ship. She's not. She's not. You can tell she just does not care that much about it. Now, she probably cares more about the rosé than anything else, but still. And to kind of end off on this video, and I haven't done a full deep dive yet because I was kind of going to see how today turned out, but I do have something interesting to share. So I have obviously the hibiscus tea, and I also have Republic of Tea hibiscus tea. And I ordered these. Well, I ordered this to test it against this. Which one, guys? Are they all that similar or different? Because Republic of Teas is the one who's made Meghan Markle's teas. So I didn't really think of how we'll do this, but I have these little sheets of paper, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll put the Republic of Teas, which is actually nice because it's actually a loose tea on one side, and Meghan's tea on the other. I can already tell there's a little bit of difference here, but it's good to get an idea. But I have more teas to test, so we'll probably do a whole tea testing. Well, I see a lot of similarities, ladies and gentlemen, and so let me identify them for you, and I will get you a quick video. So we do have some green here in the Republic of Tea that's not in Meghan Markle's As Ever, but you can definitely see the hibiscus, which is the red. Looks like this is from Meghan's whole tea bag here that I cut open. And this is from the little bit I poured out. Very similar in some ways, but also different. So I was wondering, because let's see, smell test. Although I should specify, I don't have a great sense of smell. I mean, they smell very, very similar. Like the taste test will be the true metric. And we shall do this hopefully maybe within the next couple of days. I'll have to figure out how to steep this in a way because I don't have I'm not really a tea drinker. But fascinating comparisons, ladies and gentlemen. But just goes to show and prove, I think, that Meghan has no original ideas. She's basically regurgitating what other people have already done and much better. And so we shall see what happens with As Ever. But guys, this is a disaster. And it's As Ever a disaster. And of course, we have Meghan Markle too with the wines. I think it's absolutely insane to force people to buy 3 bottles of something they've never tasted. Because what are they going to do with the other 2? I'm going to attempt to see maybe if I can sell them on eBay to a Sussex Squad member and see if they're interested in paying a premium. Because then I can make some. But we'll see. We'll have a whole wine tasting, guys. Even though I don't drink, I don't know what I'm tasting. But what I do know is sometimes if stuff tastes good or stuff doesn't. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this latest As Ever fiasco. Because, oh my gosh, is this crazy? Let me know again your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Will Meghan ever get it right? I don't think so. She's too interested in playing games rather than being successful. Like, this woman could be so successful if she wasn't more interested in playing games than just being truthful and just running a business well. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye.